Good evening, everyone. Would you please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Pledge has a little more meaning after the two Memorial Days, police and Army or Armed Services. Okay, please call the roll.
Councilman Marcocha?
Here.
Councilman Dooley?
Here.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Here.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Here.
Supervisor Calavita?
Here. Good evening, all. Thank you for joining us. We have an appointment for the position of garage foreman, and I have a memorandum from Dawn Donovan, our town controller, and she's requesting the appointment of Robert Caruso to the position of garage foreman. Mr. Caruso has been employed by the town since April 10th, 2000. The appointment will be effective on June 2nd, 2021, an annual salary of $92,425, Group K, Step 5. Funds have been provided for in the 2021 budget, and I'll make the motion for Mr. Caruso's appointment and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Councilman Dooley?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Next, we have approval of the minutes of the May 4th Town Board meeting and the May 13th Special Town Board meeting, wherein we interviewed candidates for the position of police sergeant. Any modifications or amendments?
No.
There being none, I'll make a motion to approve same as submitted and ask for a second.
Second.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Councilman Dooley?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Next, we have reports of departments, boards, and commissions. Law Department report, Mr. Rader.
Yes, good evening. First, I have a resolution authorizing the settlement of a certiorari proceeding instituted by Lake Avenue Owners, Inc., affecting the premises known as Section 11, Block 4, Lots 3 and 3A. And the assessment years on this property are 2016 through 2020, tax years 2017 through 2021, and the total town tax refund on this property is $3,601.38.
All right, so moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Councilman Dooley?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye.
Okay, next, resolution authorizing the settlement of a certiorari proceeding instituted by Tafcar Realty Corp., affecting the premises known as Section 33, Block 2, Lot 20, the address being 25 Columbus Avenue. The assessment years in this property are 2015 through 2020, tax years 2016 through 2021, and the total town tax refund on this property is $1,343.15.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Councilman Dooley?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye.
And last, I have an introduction of a proposed local law which will allow the town of Eastchester to opt out of allowing cannabis retail dispensaries and on-site cannabis consumption sites as authorized under Cannabis Law Article 4 within the unincorporated town of Eastchester, and to set a date for a public hearing, which will be the next meeting, which will be June 15th.
Right, June 15th, 8 p.m. In this room. And presently, pursuant to our dialogue with each other, we think this is the proper path to take as a town board. I would also add that we have been enforcing our anti-vape law in the town. To the best of my knowledge, there have been approximately 7 violations issued for people selling vape products, and we're going to continue along the same lines for the health, safety, and welfare of our residents. So I will move for the establishment of the public hearing and for the, to set a date for the public hearing and to hear on the proposed local law. Someone care to second that?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Councilman Dooley?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Okay, we have the town clerk's report for April. Anything to add?
Nothing to add.
Okay, there being none, we'll move to correspondence. We have a memo from the controller on part-time and seasonal employees, and we have several here, and they're all Lake Isle. Many jobs at Lake Isle are happening because we're going back full strength, thank heavens, and there's one highway position. So I'll ask for a motion in a second, please.
I'll move it.
Second.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Councilman Dooley?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte.
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita.
Aye. There being no miscellaneous business, we move to council member reports. Councilman Markocha.
Thank you, Supervisor. For my report, I want to begin with some news from Lake Isle. The pool season began this past Saturday, May 29th, and it looks like temperatures will climb into the 90s this coming week, so don't forget to register now. Lake Isle membership office hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and 10 to 4 p.m. on weekends. You can also register online at www.lakeislecountryclub.com. This year in particular, we had a lot of online registrations. It's worked out well. It's quick and efficient. So if you can't stop in during those hours, you can do it right online. Also, the library on Wednesday, tomorrow, June 2nd at 6:30 p.m., the library is holding its board meeting in person for the first time in a long time, outside on the patio, on the library patio. So that patio is coming into very good use. It was a good idea to do it a few years back, and it's just, it's a treasure for the library, particularly during these times. Also, with the veterans, I want to thank the Veterans Committee for coordinating such a memorable Memorial Day tribute in our town, which included visits to the Medal of Honor Monument and the Veterans Flagpole in Eastchester Veterans Park. It was a very nice tribute. Also, there were visits in Tuckahoe, which included the World War I, World War II, Korean, Vietnam monuments, and the Robert C. Murray Medal of Honor Monument. The veterans continue to express the 3 R's regarding Memorial Day: remember, respect, and reflect, and remind us that many soldiers have given their tomorrow so that they can enjoy our today, so that we can enjoy our today. The next veteran event is Flag Day, Monday, June 14th, which they hold at the Leroy Gregory American Legion Post 979 to properly retire torn, worn, and discolored flags that are collected throughout the year. Please make an effort to attend. More details on that will follow. And then finally, our safety officer has been busy ensuring that our highway department is following all safety procedures and has recently inspected and confirmed that all sanitation trucks have updated fire extinguishers and safety triangles. He's also ensuring that all safety protocols are in place for highway department as workers in various areas of our town are busy planting, mulching, watering, and fixing catch basins. I want to thank our entire highway department staff and employees for all the hard work they are doing and for keeping safe while doing so. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Councilman Dooley.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I was able to attend the CARE Coalition annual candlelight vigil last Thursday night. It was a great event, and it's also nice to see that they're still fighting the good fight against drug addiction and depression, especially during these tough times. So they're doing a lot of good work, and they've kept the momentum going. It was also nice to see that they had a memorial sort of ceremony for Glenn Bolito, Councilman Glenn Bolito, who lost his life to COVID last year. It was great that his wife was able to light the first candle. His daughter was there, his brother was there, his sister was there, and his mother was there. So it was a really nice event, and it was good to see the Bolitos out there. You know, they've just got so much strength, and I wish them all the best. So thank you, Mr. Supervisor. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Councilwoman Nicholson.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, everyone. I have 2 announcements. We have the summer concert series lineup that can be found on the at www.eastchester.org under the Park and Recs. And in addition, we have early voting starting June 12th to the 20th at the Eastchester Public Library. Times will be posted on the clerk's website. And the primary day is June 27th, but for early voting, there is Eastchester Public Library from June 12th to the 20th. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Marcotte.
Thank you, Supervisor. For my report, I just have some events that are taking place in Bronxville as everything is opening up, as is the Village. So I wanted to announce that Saturday, June 5th from 10 to 1, Take Back Day is back in the Village of Bronxville. This is sponsored by the Bronxville Village Green Committee, and they will be collecting gently used resident clothing as well as electronics. There will be 2 places to drop off. One is at Palumbo Place for electronics and gently used clothing, and they're also going to have the Westchester County Shredder on site, and that will be in the elementary school parking lot. Also, this weekend, they're having their sidewalk sale. That's going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Starting Friday after 12 noon, there will be multiple locations where residents can park for free and avail themselves of hopefully some very good shopping deals in Bronxville. So we hope and urge everyone will attend that. The Farmers Market opened up May 15th, and that is back every Saturday from 8:30 to 1 p.m., and that is at the intersection of Paxton and Stone Place. I also wanted to congratulate Mary Marvin, who is being honored by Gramerton Village. I know many people participated in an online journal event for her. Mary does so much for Gramerton Village and, of course, the Village of Bronxville, so congratulations to her as well. The village board meeting for Bronxville, the first one coming up in June, is going to be in person. So they welcome any residents who want to attend that in-person village board meeting. You will be required to wear a mask. And then I just wanted to piggyback on Councilwoman Teresa Nicholson's report with regard to the early voting. I just also wanted to add that the Board of Elections will be following all of the New York State guidelines and the CDC guidelines with regard to COVID precautions, and actually they'll be following the guidelines that they followed last November. You will be required to wear a mask. There will be PPE on site. So again, early voting June 12th through the 20th, and primary day June 22nd. That concludes my report, Supervisor.
Thank you. Just to follow up on that too, it's, the town hall is wide open. Town hall actually never closed, and we have had all of our meetings live. But it is nice to have everyone come in and out of the building freely without any type of, restraint. And also, it's kind of nice to be emancipated from wearing a mask, frankly. But, again, it's confusing out there. Some people are not sure, mask, no mask, what do we do? Even in this room, we were hoping to have like a regular board meeting without any restrictions, but the Office of Court Administration has indicated that rooms that are used for court, which this room is, still have to maintain the social distancing barriers and the, all of the length and the separation. So all the, stickers are still on the chairs, and they've been blocked off. And rather than change it every Tuesday and Wednesday, we're just going to go with this. Hopefully, at the end of this month, the Office of Court Administration will change their position. But notwithstanding that, I think everyone would join me in kind of appreciating that it's nice to be without a mask. It's nice to be unencumbered. It's nice to be walking outside without having to worry about, having a mask on or contaminating anyone or whatever. Strangely, too, I get a list every day, as does the police chief, of the people that have COVID in the town, and of course it's extremely confidential, but I'm just delighted to say that that list is down now to one person. So one person out of 22,000. So I think we're way ahead of the curve here. So that's very good news for Eastchester. I'm sure Tuckahoe and Bronxville kind of in the same proportions. Anyway, a lot of other things have been touched upon, so I'm just going to conclude my report there. And that brings us to the second opportunity to address the board. Yes, sir. You look like you got a black and gray mask on.
David Levy, 220 Hillside Place, Upper Tuckahoe. Hello. There was no agenda.
What's that?
There was no printed agenda out there today.
I don't know. Was it upstairs, maybe?
Oh, I don't know. You couldn't go up through there. You had to come
Oh, yeah,
down
because
there.
of construction, yeah. Oh, I'm not sure. It was very short, nonetheless.
So, last week I missed it was the care. I wanted to go for Mr. Bolito. But, you're talking about June 15th having a hearing on whether or not you should be able to sell marijuana or use marijuana in the town of Eastchester. Mine is all on a medical, so I really don't care. But there's definite proof out there that marijuana is a very good alternative to opiates because it relieves pain, relieves anxiety, and it relieves most of the things that these people are using the opiates for. And in some things I've read out there, they actually, in in-house clinics, They use marijuana to help take people off of opiates and to help people not get into opiates. So I just think that that's something to consider. And, you know, the tax money that would be coming in, it's not, to me, it's no more than, actually, it's better than alcohol. And if we were to set things up correctly here under our own guidelines, it would be like, you know, somebody opening a restaurant, a bar, and serving alcohol. And if you would have enough control over it, they could sit, well, I guess you couldn't smoke inside anyway, because you can't
Yeah.
smoke anything
Yeah,
inside.
Pretty much the rule is that anywhere you can't smoke, you can't smoke cigarettes
you
or
can't smoke
cigars, you can't
marijuana.
smoke marijuana also. Like,
Right.
that wouldn't be like town parks, school grounds, you know, pretty much it's going to end up being, you know, in your privacy of your own home or, you know, some other place. But again, you know, we got to balance the loss of revenue, which I don't think is going to be substantial, versus the health, safety, and welfare issue.
Well,
So,
I don't think at first the revenue will be that great. I think once everything gets worked out, the revenue could be pretty good. There are some companies out there right now developing ways to see if somebody is intoxicated on the marijuana. Because I keep abreast of this, you know, for the union. And what happens is now one of the tests out there is if you were to smoke some marijuana and walk into a room and they could actually smell the marijuana on you, your body still is high. By the time that smell of the marijuana wears off of your body, the high in your body has dropped, and you wouldn't, you know, well, it wouldn't be a urine test, it would be a blood test. The urine test only shows what's in your body for 30 days. The only way to really test if somebody is high at the time is through a blood test, which is very expensive.
of course, and it's also very intrusive and not very practical on a traffic stop.
No,
So, you know,
right.
people, also, they eat gummy bears, brownies, whatever, you know, so it's
Right.
not sometimes always smoke.
No, I know, but you, through a gummy, I don't know, I don't like eating the stuff between the hooves on a cow or a horse, so I don't eat gummies. But cookies and that other stuff, you can still smell a marijuana-like substance when somebody would eat a cookie or a cake. Those other things I'm not sure about, I just don't like the way they feel. All right, now, a couple of meetings ago, I was here, and you know, one of the things I've always liked about this town is we're still a Republican, one of the last, or almost the last Republican outpost in Westchester County. But it seems that some people in this town have the idea that the rules are for you, but not for me. And I think that that's wrong. We come to these meetings have been going on since the town was formed, I guess 1664. And it's always been under Robert's Rules of Order. And number 13 on the Eastchester Parliamentary Procedure, which you guys vote in every January, is that when in doubt, revert back to Robert's Rules of Order. Now, according to Robert's Rules of Order, when somebody comes up here to address the dais, we're only allowed to talk to you. And if there's an answer, you ought to give it to us. And if you're not sure, you ought to ask one of the other members for the information and then give it to us. But it seems that we have a bureaucrat in this town who is appointed at he's appointed by you to stay as long as you choose him, and he sits up there and he yells at people at the dais. He tells people what's what, and it's none of his business, and he has no right to say anything. Because according to the laws, you're the only one that can talk to somebody at the dais. If you have a question that you don't have an answer to, you can ask somebody else for the answer. Then you're supposed to talk to whoever is at the dais. And there's too many times that been going on in this town for quite a while, last 20 years, that certain members at a meeting say what they want when they want and talk down to somebody at the dais. And they're an appointed person, and they have no business doing this. And as long as you're happy with them, they stay in their appointment. But they're a bureaucrat, you know, and they're not supposed to talk to anybody whatsoever. They're not supposed to give anybody their opinion, not supposed to tell anybody what's going on the paperwork. It's none of their business. And, it's really got, not just to me, because I'll stand up to it, but I've watched other people fold under this, well, I want to say BS, where these people just shout at them and yell at them, and I'm sure with enough time on my hands to sit and look, there's a way to stop this legally, all right? But I got better things to do than to practice law, because I'm not a lawyer. So that's, basically, I have no problem against certain people on a one-to-one basis. It's just when they take advantage of a bureaucratic position they've been appointed to. And I think it's time for it to stop. It never should have happened. All right, I think that's it, and I'd like to say thank you to all the men who guaranteed my right to come and speak here. And I hope next year we have a parade again. All right, because I think it's, like I tell you before, it took an Italian to give the Irish the right for their parade, and it took the Chinese to stop it. We beat the Chinese in South Korea. Why are the Chinese stopping the veterans from being remembered? I guess people get mad at me. Oh, and somebody a couple of meetings ago complained that you're not getting up and saying enough to protect the Asians in this community. I don't see anybody having problems with the Asians in this community. I grew up, boys were boys. By the end of the week, on the summertime, you'd be rolling in the dirt. The next day, you were all hanging out and you were friends, all right? I've seen more anti-Semitism in this town than I've seen Asian hate. And if you let it bother you, they know they've won. If you laugh it off and you laugh at them, they don't know what to do. And then eventually they stop because they see it's not bothering you. When you get up here and you whine and you cry, somebody's got to do something, you're basically saying, hey, I'm open, come bother me some more. I don't know. All right, thank you. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Okay. There being none, I would ask that we adjourn our meeting in a moment of silence for all of our fellow Americans over the years that have sacrificed their lives for our freedom. This is all recognized on Memorial Day, and I want to add to that also police officers that sacrificed their lives in the line of duty, which was celebrated, I shouldn't say celebrated, which was recognized the week before. So perhaps you could all join us in a moment of silence. Thank you all. We're adjourned.